Okay. So again, this is the continuation of our lecture and this is still under prelims. So we are going to talk about the theories of entrepreneurship. If I remember correctly, the last lecture was about the school of thoughts, wherein, school of thought, it became uh, the guide to come up with the different theories. So ito yung mga accepted ng mga scholars, right? So now we will delve deeper into the theories of entrepreneurship. Ito yung parang mas specific theories. So entrepreneurship is a complex and multifaceted phenomenon driven by a myriad of factors. Pag sinabing multifaceted, marami daw siyang anong tawag dito? Marami siyang angles, ganon, faces, driven by a myriad of factors. Marami daw factors yung pwedeng mag-affect sa pagiging entrepreneur. Numerous theories have emerged to explain the underlying forces that propel individuals to pursue entrepreneurial ventures. These theories provide valuable insights into the motivations, behaviors, and conditions that contribute to entrepreneurial success. So we will be tackling, pero mas marami ang theories na nasa handout. So ito lang yung parang some of them. Okay? Uh, so first will be about social network theory. So if you remember, parang under din ito nung macro, right? What does it mean? Strong ties. It is often characterized by close relationships with family, friends, and long-term colleagues, provide entrepreneurs with invaluable mentorship, funding opportunities, and business partnerships. So, marami siyang connections, no? So itong mga connections na ito, they offer this entrepreneur some advice and support. So it can be, maybe his family comes also from um, business magnates or from ano tawag dito, from a long list of entrepreneurs and their families. So, syempre, uh, marami siyang, syempre yung mga families din niya, other family members, may mga connections din yan, right? And pwede siyang i-mentor kung gusto niyang mag-put up ng sarili niyang business. Siguro I could mention if you know yung F1 racer na naging trans, si Angie King, tama, Angie Med King. Ayun. Ah, ano sila, talagang may ano sila hotels. Marami silang hotels sa Manila. And at the same time, ngayon may sarili siyang ano na yun, yung parang nagmo-modify ng cars kasi isa siyang F1 racer. I think kilala niyo siya, Angie Med King. Ah, ang wife, I forgot yung wife. Yung wife niya is a Filipina model din and they are still together. So, aside yung family nila may-ari ng maraming hotels. So sa kanya, ang kanyang business venture is about cars na nagmo-modify into sports car. Ano pa, parang binabuy and sell din niya. Minomodify niya, sell din niya. At the same time, meron din siyang aquaponics. um, yung taas daw ng kanyang mga hotels, ginawa niyang gardens na garden na magkakaroon ng sariling vegetables. Nag-grow sila ng vegetables, fresh vegetables. So I think maganda yung strategy niya kasi sila na yung nag-grow, syempre hotel yan, may mga restaurants, so pwedeng sila na yung mag-supply ng sarili nilang maging sustainable ang kanilang restaurants, right? Hotel and restaurants. At the same time, pwede niyang ibenta na purely organic yung kanilang produce. So, it gives them leverage over the others. So, ano yung nakita natin yung strategy na may sariling resources. Ayan. So, that's one of the strategy nila. And I think it's working, right? So, gaya niya, ang galing-galing niya. Maybe you can look into his TikTok. Yeah, basta hanapin nyo lang or Google nyo na lang si Angie Medking. Or maybe I can I can, maybe, maybe I can, uh, Google it for you and show. Ito. Ayun. Ito. Wait lang. Ito siya. Ayan, si Angie Medking, motorsports racing driver. And let's say, businesses. Ayan, hotels, farming, and automotive industry. So, yun yung sinasabi ko. Ayan, Hotel Ava. CEO of Hotel Ava, formerly Victoria Court. Ayan, marami sila. And yan, aeroponic farm. So, ang galing niya. Okay. So, moving on. Part yan ng LGBT pero ang galing niya. And at the same time, anong tawag dito? Ah, nag-trans siya pero sila pa rin ang wife niya. Okay. So, moving on, networks, social networks. I already mentioned earlier. Take a look at the case study of Angie, ba? Of Angie King. Syempre yan, pag pamilya ka kayo ng business tycoon sa business entrepreneurs, malamang meron ka ding mga magiging connections. Kasi yung family nyo, malaki din yung mga kilala din nila. Okay, weak ties, established through casual acquaintances, professional networks, or shared interests can introduce entrepreneurs to new perspectives, diverse networks, and potentially untapped markets. So, hindi lang pala mga strong ties, hindi lang mga families and friends. Pwede rin mga acquaintances or within the professional network, pwede siyang mag-spark ng inspiration doon sa'yo para mag-put up ng sarili mong business venture. And yeah, network analysis, understanding the structure and dynamics of social networks, including identifying key players, clusters of connections, and information flows, can provide entrepreneurs with valuable insights for navigating their networks effectively and maximizing their impact. Now, moving on to the human capital theory. So, ang sabi, education. Higher levels of education, particularly in relevant fields like business administration, finance, or technology, equip entrepreneurs with essential knowledge, skills, and analytical capabilities to identify and exploit business opportunities. So, yes, congratulations. You're enrolled dito sa CBE and you will be armored, with the technical know-hows on how to handle or how to put up or manage a business. So education, yeah, um, can give an impact. Okay. Experience, industry experience gained through prior employment or entrepreneurial endeavors provide valuable insights into market trends, customer needs, and operational challenges, enhancing on entrepreneur's ability to navigate the business landscape effectively. So let's say for example, wala kang ang tawag dito, hindi lang pang theory or hindi lang formal education yung hindi lang formal education yung ah pwede kang mag-learn. Dapat meron ka pa ding hands-on experiences. No? Just like that, industry experience. So, if meron kang hands-on experiences, so let's say for example, nag-aaral ka and then you will have a part-time job na sa mga nang tumatanggap ng students, let's say a restaurant, then malalaman mo yung pasikot-sikot kung paano mag-handle ng isang restaurant. Why? Kasi syempre, kung nag-work ka doon, pwede kang ilagay sa cashier, pwede kang ilagay sa order taking, pwede kang ilagay sa kitchen, 'di ba? So, pag naikot mo na yung mga iba't ibang operations doon sa restaurant na yon, meron ka ng technical know-how on how to manage it kasi alam mo na or nasa site mo na or na-experience mo na yung mga inconveniences or yung mga potential problems doon sa mismong daily operations. Like let's say for example, um case to case basis, no. Let's say for example, uh biglang dagsa ang customers and then only to find out hindi na maintain yung bathroom cleaning. 'Di ba? Dapat kapag restaurant dapat may maintain ang cleanliness lalo na sa mga toilets. hindi na-maintain. So, nagkaroon ng impact yon. So, ikaw bilang staff, alam mo na kailangan pala may regular checking or like regular maintenance ng bathroom schedule. Dapat may schedule na nakatoka na dapat every hour chine-check ng manager kung nalinisan ba yung toilet o hindi. Parang ganon, okay? O ganon yung parang dahil meron ka ng real life experience kung paano ang kalakaran sa isang restaurant, there is a tendency for you to also put up your own restaurant when you already have the funding. Okay? If you already have the necessary funding to put up. Because meron ka ng know-how, may technical know-how ka na through experience. Now, competencies, specific competencies such as leadership, communication, problem solving, and negotiation are crucial for managing teams, building relationships, and driving organizational success. So, you also have to uh, enhance itong leadership, communication, problem solving, and negotiation skills. Dapat ito yung ma-practice ninyo, lalo na itong negotiation skills. Problem solving, palagi na lang yan kasi sa mga case study. Communication, lagi din yan, and leadership, laging natatap yan sa mga school activities natin. Negotiation, medyo hindi. So pwede ka pa rin naman matrain sa negotiation skills. Like let's say for example, you're part of the BAS, JPIA, and the mother org. So, or the SC. Let's say, for example, you would like to get some sponsors. So, you need to negotiate with the business owner para ma-sponsoran ka niya. So, yung mga yan, you need to have this hands-on experience para matry mong makipag-negotiate. At syempre, expect mo na malamang yung una magkakaroon ng loopholes or magkaroon ng problems, pero at least you can still learn from your mistakes, learn from your experiences, right? So it is, you need to also enhance your competencies. And the soft skills necessary are leadership, communication, problem solving, and negotiation. Okay? Next one is continuous learning. So investing in ongoing education, training, and professional development is vital for entrepreneurs to stay ahead of the curve, adapt to technological advancements, and remain competitive in constantly evolving business environment. So hindi pwede yung diskarte lang, no? You still have to learn, no? You need to have proper trainings, proper education, because again, yung alam mo ay pwedeng maging outdated, right? So, lalo na ngayon na napakabilis ng changes. So, you need to keep up. Kung hindi, mauungusan ka ng iba, right? So, i-accept nyo na sa sarili nyo na there should be continuous learning. Okay? Just like the Kaizen of Toyota. So, Kaizen, it was Toyota Way 2001. Kaizen means continuous improvement. Because when you learn something, you have to improve. Because why? When you say learning, there should be a change. I do not know kung kayo ba kung naikwento ko na ba or naiano nyo na ko na sa inyo to. But, imagine that you have a friend who is a chain smoker, and then ikaw bilang concerned friend, nilecturean mo siya ng mga bad things that could happen to him when he will not quit smoking. Sinabihan mo na, magkakasakit ka sa baga, kaka-cancer ka, tataas yung blood pressure mo, pwedeng magkaroon ka ng diabetes and whatsoever. However, the next day, 10 pakete pa rin yung hinihit-hit niyang cigarette. So, is there learning? Meron bang learning despite of the lectures that you gave him? Kahit na alam na niya yung mga bad sides, syempre wala. Why? Because there's no change. Walang change na nangyari. But, let's say for example, nakinig siya sa'yo, and at the same time, ayun nga, parang medyo nahihirapan na akong huminga. Tama nga yung sinasabi mo, parang natatakot ako, iniisip ko rin yung mga anak ko, o mga dependents ko, hindi po pwedeng magkasakit ako. Then, nag-change siya ng lifestyle. Inuunti-unti niya from 10 10 na pakete ng cigarette naging 8 for this week, and then next week naging 5. So, was there learning? Yes, of course, there is learning. Okay? May learning doon kasi nag-change ng behavior. Natuto na siya. So, dito, continuous improvement. Of course, if you learn something, you have to improve. Okay? Magkasama dapat yun. Because if there is no improvement, there is no learning. Okay? I do hope I made myself clear. Okay. Next one, institutional theory. So robust legal frameworks, including strong property rights, protection, contract enforcement, mechanisms, and intellectual property laws, create a stable and predictable environment for entrepreneurs to operate. These legal safeguards foster confidence, attract investments, and encourage innovation. Access to finance, affordable and readily available financing. Okay. Financing, parang business loan, parang mapapautang, or magkakaroon ng angel investors. When you say angel investors, parang sige, bibigyan kita ng kapital, parang mga venture capitalist. Maghahanap sila ng opportunity na pwede nilang i-finance. Challenges, bureaucratic, red tape, corruption, and restrictive policies can create significant obstacles for entrepreneurs, hindering their ability to launch and scale their businesses. So, itong institutional theory, more on the government ito, no? Parang yung nabanggit natin nung yung ito, sandali. Ewan ko kung nakikita nyo to. Trade. Ito, venture opportunity. Yun. So, ito rin, under din ng financial, no, not financial or capital. Ah, ito siya, venture opportunity. So, dito, kapag stable ang ekonomiya ng bansa, mas magkakaroon ng attraction or ma-attract mas lalo yung mga foreign investors and mag-put up ng businesses dito. And that is why, kinakailangan na maayos yung government natin, government policies natin. Tingnan nyo, nung nagkaroon ng pagbabago sa leadership sa Amerika, sa US, particularly about the tariffs, parang marami ang hindi man nasagasaan, naapektuhan. Yan, naapektuhan dun sa pag-increase ng mga tariffs na ipinost ni Trump. Yon. Access to finance. Again, there are some government uh, programs wherein they help SMEs, because if you have access to finance, or it is easy for you uh, to gain funding, then there's a potential for you to put up the business. But of course, there are still challenges. Again, the red tape, corruption, and restrictive policies. Of course, these are the obstacles. Kaya nga kailangan malinis or transparent, good governance. Ayan, dapat ang magkaroon sa ating gobyerno. Dapat wala nang mga corrupt na politiko para mas lumago yung economy natin. Knowledge spillover theory. So we are talking about the knowledge transfer. So established firms, research institutions, and other sources of innovation often generate new knowledge and technologies that can be leveraged by entrepreneurs. This transfer of knowledge can occur through collaborations, licensing agreement, or informal network. So, knowledge spillover theory is through the knowledge transfer. Pag sinabing knowledge transfer, may natutunan ka from another. You can talk about benchmarking, right? Like, let's say, for example, dito sa government to ha, an LGU from other province would visit LGU Dagupan, for example, to learn, how the city government of Dagupan manages everything. Paano ba yung operations? Ano yung mga techniques nila, strategies para walang mga backlogs, para magkaroon ng transparency na pwedeng matutunan nung LGU na taga-ibang probinsya. So that is knowledge transfer. Okay? Commercialization, entrepreneurs play a crucial role in converting this new knowledge and technology into marketable products, services, or business models. They identify opportunities to apply new innovations to existing markets or create entirely new markets for emerging technologies. Again, anong sabi natin? Ang innovation, hindi mangyayari kung walang commercialization. Ang invention ay mananatiling invention kung hindi siya na-produce sa market for our access or for our consumption as consumers. Proximity to innovation hubs. Entrepreneurs often benefit from proximity to innovation hubs, such as research parks, university campuses, or technology clusters. These hubs provide access to specialized knowledge, talent pools, and collaborative environment that foster innovation and entrepreneurship. So, merong mga innovation hubs or research parks. O, pwede rin maging ano ang university campuses para magkaroon ng innovation. So, ang DTI nagkaroon ng program with DOST, I think, in partnership with DOST and maybe CHED, I don't know, but they tap or they are finding or they gathered some venture capitalists. They had a contest. Actually, nagkaroon tayo ng entry na pasama tayo sa top 10. Okay? If si our governor, Anthony Damayo, was one of the representatives and he also presented in front, no? So, ang ginawa nila is sinulatan lahat ng mga universities. So, ang mga naging kalaban natin ay mga PSU, UEP, ayan, yung mga matitinding universities din dito sa Pangasinan. Ngayon, nag-invite sila ng mga venture capitalist from Manila. Mayaman sila, parang ganun. Parang sila yung naghahanap sila ng pwedeng pondohan. So, nagkaroon ng pitch, elevator pitch, para ma-convince yung mga investors na piliin or yung mga panel of judges para piliin yung entry hanggang sa pag nanalo sa Pangasinan area, then magkakaroon ng national. And then kung sino mananalo sa national, yun yung popondohan. So that is one of the examples of innovation hubs. Yung merong pagsama or nagkaroon ng opportunity para magkaroon ng innovation, para mahasa or i-share ang knowledge, specialized knowledge. Okay? Alright. Now, moving on to the 4 P's of creativity theory, we have the person. So, individual traits like curiosity, imagination, and willingness to take risks play a crucial role in fostering creativity in entrepreneurs. Syempre. So, dapat si mismong person, meron siyang trait. Kung wala siyang trait, kailangan niyang aralin. Kailangan niyang i-embrace yung ganitong trait or characteristic. So, willingness to take risk, but of course, it should be calculated risk. Okay? Next one is process. Entrepreneurs employ various methods and techniques for generating and implementing creative ideas, such as brainstorming, prototyping, and experimentation. Okay, so there are different ways, okay, or techniques to have this creative idea. Actually, that will be our midterm topic about the creative process. So, part of this would be brainstorming, experimenting, and prototyping. Okay. Next is press. Environmental factors like culture, external pressures, and market demands can influence the level of creativity and innovation within an entrepreneurial venture. Syempre, yung mga external factors, again, it can be beneficial or not. Okay? It can boost your creativity or it might hinder your creativity. So, again, it depends. And product. The tangible outcomes of the creative process, such as new products, services, or business models, represent the ultimate goal of creativity in entrepreneurship. Ayan. So, syempre, yan na yung mismo, yung output ng iyong creativity, no? Next one, profit theory. Ito yung more on financial. So, it's more on profit maximization. The entrepreneur would only want to gain money or to earn a lot of money to maximize the profit. Okay? Primarily motivated by the potential for financial gain. Parang si Trump, make America great again. Diba? More on profit maximization siya. Gusto niya i-maximize. Actually, kinat off niya yung nag-cost cutting siya. Kinat off niya yung mga pondo para sa mga UN or sa mga international projects nila na nag-help sa education, ganun, kinat niya. Kasi mas gusto niyang muna ang kumita siguro, muna yung US. Kaya, ayun, yun yung goal niya. Profit theory or profit maximization to financial incentives and market opportunities. Alam niyo na yan. Basta ito si profit theory, more on earning. Okay. Opportunity theory. So, successful entrepreneurs are adept at identifying opportunities. Often by recognizing gaps in the market, unmet needs, or emerging trends, they possess a keen sense of observation and a knack for spotting potential for innovation and growth. So, itong opportunity theory, it's again more on the marketing side because nabanggit din na market research. Conduct market research to validate their ideas, understand customer preferences, and assess the feasibility of their business plans. So, may nakita sila na hindi offered, no, hindi existing yung ganong product or service. So, kailangan nilang mag-create ng optimum value proposition. So, anong ibig sabihin nun? How can they have this competitive edge kung pare-parehas lang din, medyo parehas din lang sa mga kakompetensya niya. So, they have to find a need or a pain point that is not still being solved by existing competitors. So, yun yung opportunity. Yun yung i-recognize yung opportunity. Then, they will conduct market research, whether, to validate, totoo ba, talaga bang pain points yung ganito? May problema ba kayo sa ganito? Yan. Then, strategic planning. Once opportunities identified, they develop strategic plans to guide their actions and ensure the success of these ventures. Siyempre, i-execute na nila. Kasi, backed up na by data na eh. Alam nila na meron talagang existing need. And, of course, they have to be the first one to offer it before other competitors will, right? Para magkaroon sila ng advantage. Ownership theory, property rights protection. Secure and well-defined property rights are crucial for entrepreneurs. When entrepreneurs have confidence in their ownership rights, they are more likely to invest in their ventures, take risks, and pursue long-term growth strategies. Clear ownership rights provide stability and predictability, attracting investors and fostering innovation. So, syempre, 'di ba? Dapat well-defined, dapat sa kanila din talaga yung sa kanila yung mga properties na yon. Because bakit nga ba sila mag-put up ng business kung hindi naman sa kanila yon, 'di ba? Kung hindi secured, alam nilang anytime pwedeng kunin sa kanila. So, kailangan magkaroon ng parang ma-establish na sa kanila yon. And legal frameworks. Strong legal frameworks include robust contract enforcement mechanisms and intellectual property protection. Provide entrepreneurs with legal certainty they need to operate confidently and protect their investments. Supportive institutions such as government agencies, regulatory bodies, and business associates play a vital role in promoting entrepreneurship by simplifying regulatory processes. So, for example, may na-invento ka, no? Hindi mo siya iniregister sa intellectual property rights. Intellectual property. Nakalimutan ko na kung anong tawag doon. Basta yon. Para magkaroon ng patent. Hindi mo siya pwedeng ano sa market kasi pwedeng gayahin. Right? So, kailangan maganda or maganda yung regulation or regulatory committee or laws, ayan, rules and regulations na nakalagay sa ating batas para talagang protected ang mga entrepreneurs para mas mabilis silang mag-push or mag-go doon sa kanilang idea. Talagang wala nang hindrances, wala nang agam-agam. Parang gano'n. So, yun. Theories in action. These theories provide a valuable framework for understanding the multifaceted nature of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs can leverage these insights to navigate the complexities of starting and growing their businesses, building strong social networks, developing essential skills, and operating in a supportive institutional environment. If they apply these principles, entrepreneurs can increase their chances of success and contribute to a vibrant and innovative entrepreneurial ecosystem. So they must, guided by these theories, mas um, mas magiging okay or magiging seamless yung pagpuput up nila sa kanilang entrepreneurial venture kung alam nila yung mga theories na ito. Okay, so kayo, kaya pinag-aaralan ninyo someday, let's say, for example, you would like to put up your own business. Um, I do hope that you can look back to these theories so that somehow it can help you. It can be your guiding principles, okay, in decision making. Parang ganon. Okay, so that's it. Again, if you have questions, uh, comment na lang sa Google Classroom. So, again, if we won't have classes this Friday, then next meeting na lang yung face-to-face. I mean, next meeting yung face-to-face. Next face-to-face meeting na lang yung quiz, okay? So, see you around and stay safe.